ما هذه bro you are reaching right. লাউসি
আচ্ছা নাই।
ঘুমাচ্ছে ঘুমাচ্ছে ঘুমান
সুফির, তুমি কালকে ওইটা কি সলভ করতে পারছিলা?
Este. Este. Este.
সাবির, তুমি আসতে চাইলে তা কই? গার্লফ্রেন্ড গার্লফ্রেন্ড বাদ, তুমি আসতে চাইলে তা কি হলো? সাতক্ষীরাই মানে এ সেমিস্টার গার্লফ্রেন্ড বেশি আছে তো নাকি? ভাই এক কাজ করো, ম্যামের সাথে যোগাযোগ করে চাইনিজ একটা
রায়হান রায়হান
নিহা লাউসি
Oh, well, first I check the attendance, then I will send the picture of submitted homework to the WeChat group. Okay, for the one who could scan the code, just scan the code. If you could not scan the code, send the student ID to the WeChat group. Did you finish scan the code?
Yes, 老师。
Well, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, only 10 students scan code. Only 10 students scan code. Other students, did you finish scan code? Well, if you could not send us, okay, I go on to show you the code. If you could not scan the code, send the student ID in the WeChat group, not in the Teams meeting, okay? Because the Teams meeting is not very very good for user interface. Send the student ID in WeChat group, okay? If you already scan the code, please scan the code. There's no need to send your ID. The student ID. If you could not scan the code, then send your student ID. Well, for student ID ended with 201. Are you a new student? Well, only the student finished the registration could be noted in the student list. For student ID ended with 201. For Sheffer, I could not find the student ID in my list in the course list. So please finish the registration as soon as possible. Okay. Okay, let me see how many students are there. Okay. Well, for students, ID ended with 201. Sheffer, are you there? Hello?
নির্জন কথা বলো রে নির্জন
Not you, not you. 201, 201. Okay, is the student ID right? Check the student ID. Yeah, check the student ID. Your student ID right? Did you finish the registration? Okay. Because you're not in my list of the course. Okay. Then we'll check that. Okay, we'll check that later. Okay. So far, I got the homework of these students, and I sent the picture to the WeChat group. If you send the homework to me, but there's no document in the picture, please send a message to me. I send the picture to the WeChat group.
What should we do, Laushi? My name on this picture.
Well, just send a message to my WeChat, then I'll check the documents.
Again. Okay, langsung.
Okay. Send a message to me. I'll check it. I'm checking it all. Because there are so many students in the list. For the one who submitted the homework, but there's no your name in the picture, send a message to me now.
Okay, let's see.
In the WeChat. Well, this one is your homework, right?
Yes, Lucy, yes.
Yeah. You find that? Okay. There's no problem now. Well, is there any other people who submit the homework, but there's no your name in the picture of the WeChat group? This one. Okay. If you have not finished the homework, submit the homework before next. The deadline is next Tuesday. Okay. Deadline is next Tuesday. Okay. Question? What's your question? Hello. I mean, if you have not submit the homework one to me, finish it and submit the homework to me before the deadline is Tuesday, next Tuesday. With what?
Miss the deadline next Tuesday?
Yeah, then next Tuesday.
Okay.
Next Tuesday.
Okay.
I always give you almost 1 week to finish it. And so far there are already, let me see. Already, let me see, 9 students already submit the homework. Okay, today we go on to learn something about the detail of word. Well, the word is a very important part in this course. And actually, you have to use word to finish our first homework. But for word, there are 8 chapters in total. Well, we mainly focus on the foremost 6 chapters. Well, for chapter 1, it introduced some speed techniques for using word. For chapter 2, the laying out text and pages. For chapter 3, the word styles. And chapter 4, constructing the perfect table. Well, you see, apart from Excel, we also use table in Word. For chapter 5, take advantage of proofing tools. So in Word, we will use the proofing tool to check if there are some typos or grammar mistakes in our word. For chapter 6, the desktop publishing with Word. Well, for chapter 1, This chapter explains shortcuts and commands that can help you become a speedy user of Word. Everything in this chapter was put here so that you can get off work earlier and take the slow scenic routing home. While studying here, you discover how to create and change a view of documents. You find out how to select text, get from place to place, and mark your place in non-documents. You also explore how to insert one document in another and create data entry forms to make entering information a little easier. Well, Book 1, Chapter 2 already explained the basic of entering and formatting text in Word. Well, first we introduce the word screen. Seeing the word screen for the first time is like trying to find your way through Tokyo's busy subway station. Well, there are a lot of buttons and tabs and galleries in the interface. But when you start using Word, you'll quickly learn what everything is. To help you get going, this figure shows you the different parts of the screen. Then we describe the part in detail. Well, first is the Word button. This one is the Word button. Well, it's in the upper left corner of the screen. The Word button offers a menu for restoring, moving, sizing, minimizing, maximizing, and closing the Word. Okay. Well, actually, similar to this one. You see? Okay, I'll open a Word for you. This is a Word. The interface of WPS is similar to the Office. Well, for this button, you see, you right click it, then you can see, okay, for this one, it's save as, and share some other things. And next to the Word button is a quick access toolbar. This part. Actually, we already introduced the quick access toolbar. It always composed of the save button, the undo button, and the redo button. These three buttons. Whenever you go into Word, you see the quick access toolbar. Well, Book 1, Chapter 1 explains the toolbar in detail. And we will introduce how to customize and move the quick access toolbar. Then this one is the title bar. This one is the title bar. Okay, we go back to the Word. Okay, you see? This one is the title. The title bar is at the top of the screen, and the title bar tells you the name. This one. The title bar tells you the name of the document. This is the name of the document. And this one is the question mark. Here is a help button. Click this button, opens the help program. And for this part, it's used for resizing the window. This is minimum. Okay, this one is the minimum, and this one is maximize, and this one is close. This is for maximum is this one is the maximum. it will get the screen to full screen mode button. And in the full screen mode, you can get a better look at the document. And okay, apart from that, this one, the second line, this one is the File tab. This one is the File tab. Go to File tab to do file management tasks. And these are ribbons. Let's see, this one, this line. The home, the insert, the design, they are called ribbons. Okay, you can choose different ribbon to do different tasks. Well, for home tab, there are many groups. For example, the font group, the paragraph group, and some other groups. We will go on to learn different other tabs later. For this one, they are called status bar. The status bar gives you a basic information about where you are and what you are doing in a document. It tells you what page and what section you are in, and the total number of pages and words in the document. For this one is these three buttons. They are called view buttons. Well, there are different kinds of view mode. Well, read mode, so print layout, or web layout. Well, mostly we use the first mode. And this one is zoom control. Actually, we already introduced zoom control. It helps you to enlarge your screen to show detail of the word. Well, then we introduce how to create a new document. Well, I already sent a template of homework 1 to the WeChat group. So once you click it, then it will open the document for you. But if you want to create a new document by yourself, then you have to learn these steps. Well, document is a fancy word for letter, report, announcement, or some other files that they created with the Word. All documents are created using a special kind of file called the template. The template provides the formats, the fonts, styles, margins, specification, layout, and other stuff that give a document its appearance. When you create a document, you are asked to choose a template to establish what your document will look like. If your aim is to create an academic report, blog, newsletter, calendar, resume, or other sophisticated documents, see if you can spell yourself the formatting work by choosing the appropriate template when you create a document. Well, once you click New Document, it will show different templates for you, and you search the document to find if there's a good template for you to spell your time for formatting. For example, this is a template for the calendar. You see this one, and this one is a template for student report. Well, once you want to create, once you choose the template, you can move a point here, and it will show a preview window. You see this one, and here is the name of the template and some description of the template, and you check if it's satisfied for your requirements. Well, apart from template, you can choose a blank template. Well, the first one. This is the first one, template. Blank template. Choose blank document to create a backbone document with few steps. Blank document is the default template for creating documents. Or you can create a new document, blank document, by pressing Control and N. You can create a new document without opening the window. Or you can use online search. Enter a search term in the search box and click the Start Searching button, or click a suggested search term. Templates appear in the new window. You can click a template to examine it. Closed in a preview window. You remember this one, preview window. After you search the window, it also show you a preview window. If you want to choose it, click it and click the create button and create a new document from the template. To say you can also choose a personal template. On the personal tab, click to select template and create document. A personal template is the one that you created or copied to a document via computer or network. To see the personal tab in the new window and be able to select a personal template, you must tell Word where personal templates are stored on a computer or network. On the File tab, choose Options. This is one Options. Options. In the Save category of the Option dialog box, go to Default Personal Templates Location text box and the interface of the folder where your personal templates are stored. Well, then after we create the document, we want to get a good look for the document. Well, computer screen can be kind of confining. If there you are, staring at the stunning thing that for hours at a stretch, do you wish the view were better? The word screen cannot be made to look like the review, but you can examine documents in different ways and work in two places at one time in the same document. Well, for viewing the documents in different ways, in word processing, you want to focus sometimes on writing, sometimes on the layout, and sometimes on the organization of the of your work. To help you stay in focus, one of the different methods of viewing the document. This figure shows these views. These pages explain how to change views, the 5 different views, and why to select one over the other. You remember the change view button? Well, this one. These 3 buttons are the view buttons. You can click them, change the view. Well, this one is a read mode. This one is read mode. Switch to read mode to focus on the text itself and proofread your documents. You cannot enter or edit text in read mode. Everything is stripped away, the ribbon, scroll bars, status bar, and all. All you see are the text and the artwork in your documents. Read mode is designed for reading documents on tablet computers. And the second one is print layout. This one is print layout. Switch to print layout view to see the big picture. In this view, You can see what your document will look like when you print it. You can see graphics, headers, footers, and even page borders in print layout view. You can also see clearly where page breaks occur, where one page ends and the next begins. In print layout view, you can click the one page, multiple page, or page press button and on the View tab to display more or few pages on your screen. This one is a web page. For web page, you will see what your document would look like as a web page. Background colors appears. If you choose a same background color for a document, then the background colors appear. Text is wrapped to the window rather than around the artwork in the document. This is outline view. Switch to outline view to see how your work is organized. In this view, you can see only the headings in a document. You can get a sense of how your document unfolds and easily move sections of text backward and backward in a document. In other words, you can reorganize a document in outline view. This view is draft view. Switch to draft view when you are writing a document and you want to focus on the words. Clip art images, shapes, and other distractions don't appear in this view. Now to page breaks. Could you speak loudly? Hello? Not very clear. If you send a message, it's better. Could you send a message to WeChat group, WeChat privately or let me see. This one, well, for this wheel, okay, I go to the Word to show you something. Okay, I open another document. Well, I'll find a document for you. But for example, this line is read mode, and this line is outline. You see this outline. But if you let me see, I'll find a document with the layout. For example, well, there are documents in Chinese, but you just focus on the outline. Let me see. Okay, for example, for this one. For example, this web page. You can see the outline. This outline of the whole all the document, all the content. Then this is the outline. You just focus on the organization of your work. Could you get my point? Well, actually, after the point, you can go to the word application. What? What's your question? Well, it's different for different version of Office. For what? This is what? Hello? Okay. Well, although we introduced many wheels, the most important for us is, okay, you see this one? The writing mode, you can write it here. And you can see let me see, this one. This is outline. Well, after I introduce different mode, I will tell you which one is best. Is not the best. I could not say that it's best, but I can say it's the most used mode. Okay. So this one is this part is a red mode. You can write it here, and for this one, they are outlines. Actually, these two parts are enough for our daily use. Well, apart from the different wheels, another important useful skills is the splitting the screen. Well, besides opening a second window on a document, you can have two places at one time in a Word document by splitting the screen. One reason you might do this, you are writing a long report and you want the introduction to support the conclusion, and you also want your conclusion to fulfill all promises made by the introduction. That's difficult to do sometimes, but you can make it easier by splitting the screen so that you can have two places at one time as you write the introduction and the conclusions. Splitting window means to divide it into loss and source part. You see this one in the same document. It show you two parts. And each part, you can move up and down. And in a split screen, two sets of scroll bars appear so that you can travel in one half of the screen without disturbing the other half. Well, if you want to split a screen, you go to Wheel tab and click the split button. Okay, I'll show you the. For example, for this one. Okay, because this is the Wheel tab. Because this one is Chinese version, but it's similar. For English conversion, for English version, it should be wheel. And then click the split. Okay, it will show a gray line, and it divides the document into the loss part and the source part. And You can move the lost part without disturb the source part. You see, once you want to, you can also drag the green line. You see this one, green line. So you can drag the line to split the window into two different size parts. Once you finish split the screen, you can click the remove the screen split button. It's here, go back to one page. Or you can drag the line. You see this one? Okay. Okay. Or you can drag the line to the upper bound. It go back to one window. Or go to the lower bound. You see this one? It go back to one window. Or just click the remove the split button. Well, in a split screen, you can choose a different view for the different halves. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, you see there are different parts. Okay, for the former part, we can choose this one, this mode. Well, for this mode, and for the second part, you can choose keep it as its original mode. Okay, this is an example, just an example of splitting the window. Well, apart from split window, we'll go back to talk about selecting text. Actually, we already learned selecting text in book 1. Remember that? In book 1. The most important part of selecting word is remember to you see, although there are many techniques for selecting text, the most important thing is there are 2 skills. Just remember 2 skills, they are enough. Just use Ctrl and A to select all the text. Remember, you see, after you click, you press Ctrl and A, you select all the text. Another thing is using the mouse. Okay, click it at the beginning of the text you want to select, then click it and hold on. Then drag the mouse to the end of the text you want to select. Then you release the mouse. Okay, just remember these 2 skills. They are enough. There's no need to remember so many skills. Well, besides splitting the scroll bar, Word offers a handful of very speedy techniques for jumping around in documents. Press shortcut keys using Go To command and navigation with the navigation pane. Well, keys for moving around documents. Well, before I introduce, because I have to introduce them, but I can tell you the most important thing is the scroll bar, okay, and the outline wheel. I think it's much more useful than these skills, but I have to introduce these skills. Well, you can use the page up on your. Well, could you find the page up on your keyboard? When you click page up button on your keyboard. Once you press page up, you go to the up page. And for page down, you can go to the down page. For the home tab, home key, you can go to the beginning of the line you click. You can see once I click here, I press home, move my cursor to the beginning of the line. And the end move to the end of the line. And the control and home go to the top of the document, and the control and the end go to the bottom of the document. Okay, these are techniques, but just know that they are enough. Just use the scroll bar. It's enough. It's much more useful than the techniques. Well, in an essay document such as this page, well, it has a lot of pages. You can go from heading to heading, the navigation pane. See this navigation pane? Well, it's similar to Outline, and it's useful than Outline. Just remember this navigation pane. Okay, you can skip the Outline mode. You can skip almost all the mode. Just remember the navigation pane. Well, another technique is the go to command. Let me see. On the Home tab, open the drop-down list on the Find button, and you could choose Go To. You may have to click the Editing button first. You see Go To tab of the Find and Replace dialog box in this figure. Well, the Go To What menu is this dialog box. Lists everything that you can see. But before you can use Go To, you have to set the pages or sections or lines. Well, for example, for page part, you can go to enter the page number. Then you go to the, for example, if you choose, let me see. If you use +4, then you go skip 4 pages. But there's no need to do that because we can use the scroll bar. Yeah, shortcuts are awesome. The scroll bar is much easier than shortcuts. Well, there are some other things for going around a window. For example, the bookmarks. Rather than press page up or page down or click the scroll bar, you can use bookmarks. But you have to set the bookmark first before you can use them. Well, let me see. Well, before we introduce bookmark, we have a break. Then, okay, check that this for second class. Well, before at the beginning of this class, there are 20 students. Now there are 21. Who is the newly arrived students? Who is the newly arrived students? Oh, someone have 2 devices. Okay, I'll check that. Well, because there are more students than the first class, so you have to scan the code again because no one told me he's a newly arrived. Okay, scan the code again, and if you could not scan the code, send your student ID in the WeChat group. Okay, scan code because I could not figure out which one is a newly arrived student. Okay, for one finish scan, you can have a break. Hello. Maybe 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. But because you are not in the list, you're not in the list, so only when you finish with. Okay. Take it easy, take it easy. I know you. After you are in the once you are in the list, I will add your attendance. Okay. Because I could not find you now. You say, let me see your student ID. Yes. Yeah, because I could not find you now. Well, once I can find you in the list, I will add your attendance. Okay, someone has not finished it. I refresh the code, and you can go on to Slack to scan it.这是目标的指示。 Well, if you already finished scan the code, there's no need to send your student ID in the WeChat group. Well, 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 we go on to introduce something about insert a whole file into document. Well, sometimes you may have to recycle the document. For example, you wrote an essay on Caesar Steele's flag catcher, and you would fit very nicely in a border report on North American birds. You can insert the Caesar Steele flag catcher document into your report. Well, once you want to input a whole report, you can place the cursor where you want to insert the document. Well, let me see. Well, for example, you may have to want to insert a document here. Then you go to the insert tab. You see in the tab, and you can insert the whole document. You see, then you can choose another document. For example, this one. Okay, this is a attachment for text. Let's see. Okay, but apart from remembering the shortcuts, you can, okay, for example, this one. You can, another commonly used method is use paste, copy and paste. Okay, for example, here is the document you want to recycle. Okay, use Ctrl and A to select them. Okay, then you press Ctrl and C to copy it. Then you go back to the document where you want to input the text. You press Ctrl and V. Then the document is recycled. Okay, so remember these three are commonly used shortcuts: Ctrl and A, Ctrl and C, and the Ctrl and V to paste. Okay. These three shortcuts is a very frequently used shortcut keyboard skills. Well, then go on to introduce form. A form is a means of recording information. So you can use forms like the one shown here. Well, in this figure, you can see it shows a form to enter data faster and to reduce data entry errors instead of entering all the information by hand. So, is there some missing message? Okay, you can neglect that. Okay, instead of entering all the information by hand, you update entry. Clerk can choose entry from combo box, drop-down list, and data picker. You save time because you don't have to enter all the information by hand, and the information you enter is more likely to be accurate because you choose it from pre-scripted list instead of entering itself. To create a form like the one shown in this figure, start by creating a template for a form and put data entry controls, the combo box, drop-down list, and data pickers in the form. To fill out a form, you create a document from the form template and go to it. Well, for creating a computerized form, the first step is in creating a data entry form is to create a template for holding the form. After that, you design the form itself by labeling the data fields and creating the data entry controls. escape. Well, before creating a template, tell Word what templates are stored on the computer. Then I'll show you how to create a template. Well, first you have to create a new document, a template document. Then go to File tab and save it. Okay, I just go. I neglect the part of save the document. Just go use this one. Okay. Save as. Okay, for this part, we neglect that because the WPS does not support this form and data entry controls. We neglect the part of form. Okay, then we go on to introduce something about layout pages. Well, yes. Because let me see. Did you install the English version of WPS? Well, take it easy because although I use a Chinese version, but the most important is you have to find out where the button is. Well, actually, once you move your button, the cursor of the mouse to the button, it will show the description. You see this one? So the most important thing is you have to find out where the button is. Let me see. Actually, you have to review the book and find out where the button is yourself. Then you can remember the place clearly. Although sometimes maybe well, once you could not find your button, you can give me a picture and I will figure out which one is that. Okay? Yes, if you could not find it. Okay, actually, all the buttons have a preview, a description once you move your mouse on it. But if you could not find it, you can send a picture to me and I'll tell you. Okay, we go on to introduce something about chapter 2. Well, this chapter explains how to format text and pages. It also introduces something about how to input section breaks and why you have to use section breaks. You will discover how to establish the size of margins, indent text, number pages, construct headers and footers, determine how much space appears between lines of text, handle lists, and have some other text. Well, for paragraph formatting, Go back to English classes. Your teacher told you that a paragraph is a part of a longer composition that presents one idea or the other in the case of dialogue. For example, a heading is a paragraph. If you press Enter on a blank line to go to the next line, the blank line is considered as a paragraph. So over here, okay. Yes. This one is a paragraph. But if it's a blank, okay, so this line is a blank. But if you press the Enter key on the keyboard, then this one is a paragraph. So that means once you input an Enter key, it's a paragraph. Well, it's important to know this because paragraphs have a lot to do with formatting. If you click the paragraph group button on the Home tab, okay, this one is the paragraph group. Okay, sometimes maybe we go back to the English version. Actually, let me see. Well, actually, the paragraph lies in the Home tab. You see, the first one, Home tab. The first tab, Home tab. Okay, I go back to the English version page. Okay, this one. Okay, this is the home page, the first tab. And this is the paragraph group. Okay, then we'll go back to introduce paragraph. Because remember that even a blank line is also a paragraph. Because once you click the button in paragraph group, and the appearance will be different. Although it's a blank line, you see this one, it's a blank line, it's also a paragraph. For example, okay. But actually, okay, this one. You see for this one, because there is an interleave line for the last line. You see this one, this is the third line, you see this one, begin with third. This is a line. This is a line. And this is also a paragraph, and this is a paragraph. But for the one before with 5, you see this is a paragraph. Okay. Once I select the, let me see. Okay. For example, if I press, okay, if I press, I choose the margin after the paragraph as 10 points. Wait a minute. Browse. Okay, you see this one? I set 10 points after a paragraph. So after this line, after this paragraph, it has 10 points to the next paragraph. But inside the paragraph, you see this one? Inside this paragraph, the margin between these two lines, is just set as 15 points. Almost 15 points. The margin is different. So that's why you have to know that the concept, to know the conception of paragraphs. Apart from paragraphs, we introduce something about section break. Well, when you want to change page numbers, schemes, headers, and footers, margin size, you have to use different section. Okay, go back to this one. Okay. For example, I import a section break with a section break here. Okay, you see this dot line. You see this dot line. This is a section break. Sometimes you hide you can choose to hide the break mark. Not the break mark, the section break. You see this line. If I click I can hide the button, hide the line. You see, you cannot see the line, but actually there is a line. Okay, here this is line. Okay, after I input this section break, I can do what can I do? Well, I can input the numbers like this. The page number, you see, it has 2 pages, but there are no numbers in this section. Okay, this is the usage of the section break. You can choose different styles, different page numbers for different sections. Or you can use another thing. For example, let me see. You can also use a different thing is okay. In the former part, it's the vertical mode. But here, I can after I enter the section break, I can choose a different look. You see the horizontal mode of code of the text. You see, they're different. This is the usage of section break. Well, let me see. The different kinds of section break. The first one is next page. Next page. Okay. Next page, just go to the next page and leave a lot of space, you see. But the page number is continuous. They share the same set of page numbers. And another kind is continuous. Continuous means although I input a number of a page break like this, but they are still in the same page. Well, this kind of page break is used to when, for example, when you want to introduce newspaper style columns in the middle of a page. So in different sections, although they are in the same page, you can use different columns. For example, the former part is single column, but for the second part, it has a double column. Well, in the same way that your paragraph marks store formats for paragraph, section break store formats for an entire section. When you delete a section break, you apply new formats because the section is holded into the section that formerly formed. Okay, today we'll end here. Next class we go on to introduce line break, line break, and after the class, you have to review the book to be familiar with the buttons. Okay. Okay, stay in here. See you. And the next Wednesday, the one in the campus should go to the classroom in seventh. Let me see. Seventh teaching building. Okay, see you. Bye bye. The one in the campus to go to the classroom. Remember that. But the one in your own country, just use the Teams meeting. Okay, bye bye.